What's up fam, this is the last video in the beginner series. What we did in the last few videos was solve the cross, the rest of the first layer, and the second layer. We also went over some notations, and we also went over some variations that can happen on the second layer. I need y'all to bear with me when solving this last layer right here, because it is the most algorithm heavy. Right when you finish the second layer, there's going to be 4 types of patterns you're going to look for right on the top layer immediately after. You could end up with a cross, which just means that all 4 edges and the center are on top. You could also end up with a dot or any variation of a dot, whether there's a corner or 2 corners or 3 corners. If there's no edges, then that means that is a dot. You could also end up with a reverse L, and there's more variations of this too, where you could have an L facing this way or maybe an L facing this way. But as long as you have that reverse L with these 2 adjacent edges, that's how you know you have this pattern. And then you could also end up with a straight line, which is basically 2 opposite side edge pieces in the center. There's also multiple variations with the straight line too. So you could have like a Z or a long L or a straight line. We're gonna solve each one of these, and we're gonna start with a dot because that one's like the easiest one to recognize. Keep in mind, when doing these algorithms, the goal is to get all of these variations to have a cross. That way we can move on to the next step. To go from a dot to a cross, you start with doing a front move, then you do a sexy move, then you do front inverted, then you do front with 2 layers, a sexy move, and then bring the 2 layers that you move forward back. Next you have the reverse L. When you have the reverse L, you could hold it like this, where one of the edges is facing 12 o'clock and the other edge is facing 9 o'clock. I usually do this move. I move front and then I do a reverse sexy and then I do front inverted to put it back. You can also do this move to get the reverse L to a cross. You hold one of the edges towards you and one of the edges towards the right, and then you do front with 2 layers, reverse sexy move, front inverted with 2 layers. Next you have the straight line. This one's pretty easy to recognize and has the easiest algorithm. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the line parallel to you, and all you're gonna do is a front move, sexy, front inverted, and you will end up with a cross. You could also just end up with a cross in which you don't have to worry about anything. You just move on to this next step I'm about to teach you. So now what you want to do is you want to end up with a cross that looks like this. If you look at it like this, it looks kind of like a fish, because this is kind of like the head of a fish, this is kind of like the tail of a fish. We're going to start by fixing this cross, because we do have the cross, but we have to make it look like a fish. And so we're going to do this algorithm. I call it a corner placement algorithm. You're going to keep doing this algorithm until you end up with a cross that looks like a fish. Keep in mind, it can take a little bit, and then you're going to be able to get in a groove and find a rhythm to be able to find it faster. But yeah, go ahead and rotate the cube a little bit, take a couple tries and try and figure it out, and once you get the hang of it, it'll be pretty smooth. Now we're going to do the same thing with this cross. This one's a little bit different as it has 2 open corners, so all you have to do is hold it like this. Do it 1 time and you'll end up with a fish. Now we could do our last cross. This one's gonna take a little bit, but like I said, get used to it, get comfortable, and eventually it'll be pretty smooth. Now when you have this specific cross, you're gonna point the mouth of the fish towards you, and then you're gonna determine which one of these sides has a yellow dot. It's either gonna be on the left or it's gonna be on the right. This cube has it on the left side, so we're gonna hold this side in our left hand and we're gonna do this algorithm. This is going to help us solve all the rest of the yellow slots on the top layer. We're going to do the same thing with this cube. We're going to point the fish mouth towards us. We're going to look, okay, is it on the left or right? This time it's on the right. So this time we're going to do the same algorithm we just did, except it's going to be the mirror version because we're going to be doing it with our right hand. We're going to do our next one right now. We point the mouth towards us. We look, okay, it's on the left. So now we're going to hold that yellow slot in our left hand and do the algorithm for the left side. Now we're going to do our last one. We pick it up, we look, and we say, okay, fish's mouth towards us, it's on the right side. So we're going to do the same algorithm, but the mirror version with our right hand. So we're on the last step of the cube now. So we're going to be looking for 2 things. We're going to be looking for headlights and we're going to be looking for blocks. I'll explain more as we finish. So starting with this cube, we're going to look for blocks and headlights. So we have a block right here. It's basically a section that's completely solved. And then on the back right here, we have headlights. We're going to put this block in our left hand, and it's going to leave a slot on the right here where we could work with. And we're going to do this algorithm. So now we're one step closer. We have this solve side right here, so we're gonna go ahead and put this in the back, and then we're gonna do the same exact algorithm again. We're gonna put like this half block looking thing right in front, and we're gonna do it again. So now we have a solve side and 3 sets of headlights. So we're gonna do this algorithm here to rotate these edge pieces into their proper places. So when you have this orientation, you're gonna put the solve side in front of you. You're gonna do a sexy move on the right side, a sexy move on the left side, then you're gonna follow it up with a reverse sexy on the right side and a reverse sexy on the left side. Sometimes you'll have to do the move once, sometimes you'll have to do the move twice. Or what you can do is start it on the left side. It just kind of depends. But nonetheless, one more time. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this cube. We're gonna put the blocks in the front and we're gonna put the headlights in the back, and we're gonna do the same algorithm. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna find these headlights, connect them to their proper color. In this case, it's blue. You're gonna look for the block. Holding the headlights in the back, you see that solve block is on the left. So you know you're gonna do this algorithm with your right hand in this open slot. So on this cube, we have half a block and we have headlights. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna treat it like it's a full block. Connect the headlights, put the headlights in the back. This half block is in front on the left. So we're gonna do this move with our right hand. Now we have 3 sets of headlights and we have a solve side. So we're gonna put the solve side on our face this time. And this time we're gonna solve it starting with the left side. That means we're gonna do a sexy move from the left side, a sexy move from the right side, a reverse sexy from the left side, and a reverse sexy from the right side, in that order. So now we're on our last cube, and we see we have headlights and like a half block. So we're gonna go ahead and connect those headlights. We're gonna rotate the cube and we're gonna look and see, okay, we have a block right here, a half block. And this time it's on the right. So that means we're gonna use the open slot on the left, which means we're doing it with our left hand. It's the same thing as that other block algorithm we had before, but you're mirroring it with your left hand. Now we have 3 sets of headlights and a solve side. So we're gonna go ahead and put the solve side toward us and go ahead and do those 2 sexies and 2 reverse sexies to finish it up.